Hi everyone, welcome back to the Punnya Way. Today what we are going to talk about is very close to my heart because it brings together two worlds that deeply shape childhood: education and parenting. Joining me today is a parent who wears both hats beautifully, an educator by profession and a mother by heart. So today we have with us Miss Aparajita Kumar, who is a professor here in Dehradun, and obviously she wears many hats, being a mother, being a professor, being an all-rounder and an educator. For an educator, I always envision that they are the best kind of mothers, but yes, ma'am can always tell us more and guide us on how she envisions early education to be like.
So, as an educator and as a mother, I think what happens, ma'am, a lot is that you are very hyper aware of where your child is going, which is also at times not good for the child. But when Vedant was born and till the age of 3, we didn't give him any formal school training. He was at home with us. But he was very happy and bright and doing his own thing, so we didn't mind. When we started to look for a school, the one thing as an educator and as a mother that I wanted him to have was to have an environment where he was not being forced into anything structured at an early age. Because I've been through that schooling system, obviously, and I believe that it has its own merits.
Yeah.
But children also then a lot of times forget to learn the basics that we take. Like for example, reading. I don't think schools anymore focus on reading.
Right.
For example, I developed reading. I love reading. I am an avid reader. I cultivated that habit because my mother is like that even till date. My grandparents were like that.
Yeah.
But I knew if I send Vedant to a school which has a proper working schedule and a timetable and the general traditional boundaries, he will probably, his love for painting or his love for animals or his love for books will somewhere get curtailed, and he will get very involved and embroiled in all of that. So in this early education phase that he is in, I think I just want him to have as much latitude to explore as he can.
Right.
So that he is not caged, and then he can slowly choose. And one thing that I found which I find that he has become a very self-confident man. And he is very clear. No, yes, that is happening
He's
a
developing
lot.
his own identity.
Oh yes, and do you want to do this? No, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, why do I have a teenager caged in a toddler's body suddenly? But then as an educator, I realize it is a sign of a brain that is developing.
True.
And that is developing without fear. That is another part in early education which is very important. A child should not fear the school system. If a child is coming to school every day crying, then there is something wrong with that system.
If you remember, during the starting, before Vedant started, I think we had this conversation, and that was one of the statements I must have given you, that I want all of my kids to be happy in the school. It's not that I want them to excel in academics, excel in any activity, but what I want primarily for them is to come and go happy, and probably I would want them to go even happier while they're going back rather than coming in the morning, because they should always be looking forward to the school next day.
True.
It's the whole agenda of raising independent learners. What I gather from what you just said was you started school for Vedant at around 3 years. As an educator and as a parent, I would say mostly as a parent, people do consider putting their children a little earlier. Why did you take that gap?
So firstly, I was at home. I wasn't working. So Vedant was getting a lot of attention, which I didn't mind. Secondly, he was meeting all his milestones without any kind of formal homeschooling even. Like he was doing his alphabets, doing his puzzles. So I could see there was a lot of development mentally, which made me realize that it's okay. And I knew that once I would start working, I would not be able to give him this much time. So I thought, let him have this time with me, because I knew I was going to go back to work very soon. And also, somewhere, I don't know, maybe it's my maternal instinct, I felt that till the age of 3, or at least 2.75, a child needs a lot of security and attachment to the parents. When every time I would think of sending him to school or even to a creche for that matter. And I have gone. I was a child who went very early because both my parents were working. My brother didn't go, but I went. But I could. The first day when I finally sent Vedant to school, and it was not Pune, it was a school. We just sent him into for some time.
Right.
I saw him going with so much confidence that my mother will come back. And that made me realize that he at least has now reached that maturity or that development, mental development, where he knows that school is a place you go, study, be there for a while and come back.
Yeah.
My parents have not abandoned me. And a lot of my friends who are into psychiatry told me this also, that keep them at home if you can, because that gives them a lot of emotional maturity while they
the sense of safety that they get while being with parents is of another level. But yes, with different when we consider different aspects, it also helps students to engage more socially if they start school earlier.
That is what Vedant was already having all these
he had that at home.
He was already meeting people, engaging with people. So three things I was very conscious about. Whether he's speaking on time, which he was. Whether he is overtly shy when he was meeting new people, which he wasn't. And thirdly, whether he was ready to take that risk, which he was. So when I saw these three being met, I was a little fine. But I know a lot of my friends have sent, because I have a friend whose child wasn't speaking at all. Plus, Vedant was never actually brought up in a nuclear setup. He had lots of people around him. His grandparents kept visiting, his uncles and aunts. So he was always, constantly being exposed to larger groups, larger, bigger surroundings, unfamiliar surroundings, and he was thriving. So I didn't feel scared. But of course, if at any point I would have felt that, his milestones are not getting met, or he's becoming, and also he was never overtly clingy, despite all of these, despite me being at home, he was very happy to do his independent play and not care about my existence, unless he was hungry or something. So that made me realize that, okay, fine, I can wait. It may not be the case with my second child, but at least with Vedant, that was the reason why.
I think with siblings it usually differs, but you'll see how it goes. She's still too young for us to comment on to. For Vedant, what I can surely say is, when we saw him first, and from now also, we see a lot of difference in him. The way he's developed his confidence, the way he comes and meets everyone. He has always been a very friendly child. And we always promote all of the kids to go out there and explore. Like you said earlier, that the child should be able to explore different things, and then they can see and pick up what they like, what they don't like. And I see him engaged in so many things, and he's enjoying almost every one of them. How do you ensure as a parent that at home also it's taken care of?
So we exposed Vedant to a lot of toys. To a restricted number of toys, but a lot of variation in those toys at a very young age. We didn't give him a lot of options. So till the age of, I think, 1.5, he didn't have any screen exposure.
That is brilliant. That is the best that you can do to your child.
I can't say that for now, because he does have screen exposure, but we have been very conscious that it cannot be mobile exposure. It has to, if he has to watch, it has to be on a television.
Because I feel kids just get hypnotized to the screen.
They do. Even till date,
that's about it. That's the worst that you can do to your child.
True. If today also, if I switch on the television, he will leave everything. And you have to also be very conscious of what you're showing him on screen.
Absolutely.
Because there are majority of
much of content.
Exactly, and majority of it is so stimulating that the child gets hypnotized, and the child forgets everything in that process.
It is made in a manner that the child is glued to screen.
Exactly.
They are not moving, they are not listening. The passive learning that was happening earlier while they were just playing or getting bored is not happening at all. So you're actually stopping the development of your child.
So what I did with Vedant was, and I think it was a lot unconsciously, I never had a roadmap per se. First child, you never have a roadmap anyhow.
You learn as you go.
Exactly. I gave him a restricted number of toys, but I kept it primarily educational toys.
Great.
We never bought him a gun and all those kind of, quick things which will give him quick gratification or quick happiness. And I didn't buy him a lot of toys which would make noise or sounds. So we introduced him to a lot of puzzles. We didn't know that he would like them. surpassed our expectations in that regard, that he became so good at them. I never thought that he would be that, because generally a 2-year-old will not care about a puzzle.
Yeah.
We introduced him to blocks, and we introduced him to books.
Was that intentional, or we just went
with the flow. We just tried to keep it as educational as possible, and somehow in that process we realized, oh, he really likes animals. So we start, but the extent to which that liking for animals has gone was never in our. We never thought about it, that he would start telling jellyfish and octopus and every aquatic animal that he can. By the time he was 2.5, 2.75, he was correcting his grandparents rather. No, that is not a dolphin, that is a whale, Nana, and my father is just looking at me like, what is happening?
That's what right kind of knowledge does to a child.
Exactly.
They are empowered.
Exactly. And Francis Bacon, he said once, and this is something which has been ingrained in me, I read it long ago in an encyclopedia, that knowledge is power.
It is.
And I come from a family of academicians. I am a 4th generation academician. Everybody in my family is related to education somewhere or the other. And when Vedant, one thing that my husband and I decided was, we will not force him. You have to come first in class and all of that. Let's see. We didn't know how he will turn out. But the one thing that we really tried to do was, and I also did this, I'll be very honest, I didn't play with him a lot.
Okay.
I exposed him to toys. Yes, I would tell him what is to be done, and then I would let him be. So Vedant grew up, at least from the age of 1 to 2.5, 2.75, doing a lot of independent.
The best thing that happened to him while doing that was he learned to be independent.
Yes.
He was not clingy to you, and that's how he developed all of those good habits that you just mentioned.
Vedant's clinginess actually started after his sister was born, and that is
that's
obviously
normal.
that's normal. That will probably he'll ride it out.
Yeah.
But before that, he was just very happy to just have his toys and sit in a corner and play for hours. And I would just be doing my own thing, and I would not be bothered at all. I would just keep an eye on him, and he would play.
Brilliant.
And in that process, he developed his own interest, his own likings, dislikes, his own his own brain also, because in a lot of ways he surprised me with now, and especially after coming to Punnya, it has just boomed because his communication skills have gone
that
up.
was what I was about to ask you actually. Vedant joined us now this session only in July. I think he came for the summer camp with us, and then later on he came in. He has already developed a personality by then. But then since July, let's say, till now, what are the changes primarily that you have seen in him?
Biggest change, I would say, his communication skills. Amazing. And it's all Punnya. I cannot take credit for it at all. Why? Because, see, it's also why I give such huge credit to Punnya is, it's a new city for him as well.
Right.
Not only a new school,
Yeah.
it's a new environment. It's new nannies looking after him. His mother has gone to work for the first time in 3 years of his life. So
there's a lot of change happening.
But
and he's adapted to it so
exactly.
nicely.
In that change, that boy has come up with such good communication skills. Second, spoken English. So I speak a lot in English with him, but we primarily come from a Hindi-speaking family.
Right.
And he spends a lot of time with his nannies, who are both obviously Hindi-speaking. And he's why I say spoken English is, he's not only speaking or using words, he's forming sentences.
Right.
Which has happened in what? He joined in July?
July, yeah.
This is what? 4 months of school? 3 months of school? Which is amazing. Because I have never told him you have to speak in English. Rather, he is the one who's now forcing us to speak in English with him, because he refuses to talk in Hindi to us. So, of course, it's too early to tell him use a conjunction or use a vowel or use a preposition. But the fact that he wants to know, and the fact that he's speaking so much in English without any pressure from us at all.
Right.
I was okay if he was not speaking. I'm still okay with him if he speaks only in Hindi. I have no issues with that. I grew up in a Hindi family fully. But I just like speaking to him because I wanted to introduce another language to him. and he's good at it.
I think it comes from the conducive environment, because here at Pune, yes, we emphasize on speaking and we emphasize on good communication. At the same time, we also want them to be communicating with the rest of them as well, with the rest of the kids in the class in English. So what happens is they themselves want to speak. So that encourages them, and the teacher empowers them even more. And I'm sure being at home, it creates a different kind of environment.
Sure.
Even though being a Hindi speaking family, you yourself have a good command over the language, so that always impacts the child. So hand in hand, as I say, it always works the best, and I think that is showing the best on Vedant as well.
I think the sweetest part is where he cannot reply to us in English, but he's understanding what we are saying, but he doesn't know. So he'll just switch back to Hindi, and he'll just reply what he wants. He'll gauge our whatever we are saying. He'll gauge it. He'll say, and then he will try, and then he'll realize, okay, I'm gonna make a mistake, and he'll just switch to Hindi and give us an answer.
The best part is he's trying.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So these foundation years are very important. They're very crucial, and we at Punnya believe that if the base is strong, then obviously the structure goes on to be a stronger one. What to you as a parent and as an educator is the value of these foundation years?
See, I think teachers play a very important role in these foundation years. Why I say that is because as a teacher myself, and I teach university students, but I feel that, how much ever your parents do, when you go out in the world, when I was sending Vedant the first day, the biggest thing that I hoped and prayed was that the teachers would be nice. And not nice as in pamper him, and that's okay, but nice as in to have a vision for him.
Right.
Why? Because, when a teacher is invested in you, and it's a profession, that's the nature of the profession, I feel, they can do miracles for you.
True.
I have had teachers who till date have impacted my life. I have had senior colleagues who are still impacting my life in ways which I never thought.
And we still remember them.
True. Remember them, and you realize that your life would be so different
had they not been there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, what kind of teachers he is getting is very important. If you remember, I asked you also when I came here, and my husband said, "Why are you being so nosy?" I said, "I'm not being nosy. I just wanted to have this question because I know it will make a lot of difference to him. I know he will like to go to school if he's comfortable with his teachers. He will not want to go to school otherwise. Or he will be cranky about it. He will go, but he'll make a mess every day." The fact that he remembers all his Shruti ma'am, Susanna ma'am, Sonam ma'am, he will come and ask me every day. So that shows the love he is getting. That shows the comfort he has. So I feel teachers are very important.
That is beautifully put. What I want to add on to that is, yes, teachers are important. The ambience that the teachers provide, they're also like second mothers to the kids.
Sure.
And once they feel that love and belongingness within the classroom structure, they obviously blossom at another level. So having said that, here the teachers, they give so much of love and care to the kids that they'll never ever forget them in their lifetime, even if they've grown. And I'm sure you can resonate to it better.
Yeah, true. Because when we brought Vedant here first, we thought, okay, let us put him for this year and we'll see. Now we're seriously thinking, okay, let's just let him stay here because he's happy, and he's a very happy kid in general. But when he comes back from school with a smile and he tells us, or we see the changes in him, his confidence, we realize how much of positivity, everyday positivity, Punnya is adding in his life, which is very important for such a small child. Anybody can teach you to write ABCD. I'll be very honest. Okay, I have come from a very traditional school system, a convent school system. They will grill into you, and you will learn how to write ABCD 1 2 3. But not everybody will tell you that okay, it's okay to make a mistake, but don't repeat it.
Everyone can teach you to learn, but how to live the learning is something that we do here, and that is what we want our focus to be on.
True.
Great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was really nice.
Thanks.
Sitting with you today.
Good to talk to you.